like IEEE is a society, it's an international body actually. All of you know that it's an electrical electronics engineering. ACM is for computer, CSI is a Indian Computer Society of India. They also give you some kind of technology roadmaps, and then they guide you that what should be curricular content in academic organizations so that you can derive your curriculum. Okay. There are industry bodies in India, CII, Confederation of Indian Industries. Then this is also some Federation of Indian Commerce and Commercial Industry and so on. They also give you their roadmaps every year. They have some kind of planning, some kind of a vision document that you can always follow. Affiliating university, their curriculum actually they are the authority in non-autonomous colleges in our affiliation system. For Pune University, SPPU happens to be an authority to give you curriculum structure. And then NBA and NAC. These are accreditation bodies, but NBA means OBE, outcome-based education, outcome-based education program outcome. There are 12. As I already explained to you, this is something which is, those 12 attributes should also be taken into account while designing the curriculum. Okay, this is a regulatory framework. Then how do we do that? Process is like this. We have to collect needs and aspirations of learners, stakeholders, and technology trends. Stakeholders mean typically teachers and students. These are both the pillars of teaching learning process, and the technology trends, how the technology is changing in last 4 or 5 years, how it has deviated, and what are the new technologies on the horizon. That all we have to find out, needs and aspirations of that. Analysis of such needs. Once you have collected, compiled the needs and aspirations, you have to analyze them. Okay. Then design and development of structure. Who does this job? The board of studies is an entity, is a platform, is a body which does that task. Okay. All this they have to do naturally. And then once we have structured design means what? I have to identify the courses titles. Is it not? Every course, how many credits? Now, by and large, everybody in the country is following the credit system of defining the structure. Every course has got credits. More credits means more academic engagement in lab and classroom, right? More credits, more academic engagement, more weightage in calculating marks and grade point average. That is the simple meaning of credit, right? That is given in the structure, titles of the courses. And once the course has been designed, titled, then we have to find out unit-wise syllabus for the course. That is detailing. That teacher group does. In University of Pune, it is done by teacher groups. All of you know that, right? The teacher group in signal system, the teacher group in the, let's say, data structure, the teacher group in internal combustion engine, teacher group in thermodynamics. All of them develop the detailing of course by syllabi. And then we implement. Implementation is with the teacher. We deliver the content. We teach the course and we examine the course. At the end, we have end semester exam. During then we have unit test. We have got continuous evaluation, so on and so forth. Then we review. Take the review. Students give the feedback whether the course is tough, something like that, and the cycle continues. This is the process. Cycle continues. Every 3-4 years we have to do this, and we have to ethically do this. We have to religiously do this, so that the reflections of all this closed loop process are brought into new curriculum structure. Okay, that must happen. Who does this? Domain-wise teams of teachers. They give feedback to board of studies. There is a branch-wise board of studies. In COEP also, as an autonomous college, we have branch-wise board of studies. In university, we have branch-wise board of studies. No problem. And domain-wise teams of teachers, they actually give input to board of studies. Should happen like that. Okay. In university, we have faculty of science and technology, not engineering, or faculty of science and technology today, which is headed by that Dr. Chaskar today. Okay. We have one faculty. So board of studies report to faculty of engineering and science and technology. They report to them. Okay. Then faculty of science and they compile all those board of studies branch-wise curriculum structures and syllabi, etc. And they submit it to academic council. Academic council is the apex organization body in the university and in autonomous colleges also. In autonomous colleges, faculty of engineering is not there. Board of studies directly submit them to academic council, or which is sometimes CNET. Okay. And then this academic council is chaired by Dean Academics. The academic council is headed by, led by Dean Academics in autonomous colleges. Okay. In university structure, faculty of science and technology has got dean. All the such deans we have an academic council. It is structure wise, hierarchy is different. But in autonomous colleges, this faculty is not there. Board of studies directly submit their syllabi to academic council, which is chaired or led by Dean Academics. Okay. Forget about this. Structure could be different for different universities, different autonomous colleges, different public universities, different IITs. This could be different, but generally boards of studies are everywhere. Okay. Once the curriculum is designed, then we publish on website in hard copies and disseminate, distribute the curriculum structure. This is the process. Okay. What are the attributes of good curriculum, quality curriculum? It should be learner centric. It should be actually learner centric. It should be futuristic, but at the same time, it should be pragmatic, practical. It should be implementable. It should be executable. Futuristic, it should not be only theoretical. That is something I take a course on advances in nanotechnology, nanoscience. Okay. And there is no teacher to teach it. There is no book to teach it, nothing of that sort. And can I do that on mass scale? Can I do that? There are 200 colleges and there is no defined syllabus. Only research paper is a resource. Can I do that? It is not pragmatic kind of stuff. I should always remain idealistic, but also practical simultaneously. Okay. Enabling teachers. It is not only learner centric. There should be sufficient learning resources available. Books, research papers, book chapters, online courses, material on Google should be available. It should be enabling teachers always, but it should be teacher enabled. At COEP, we have phrased a term, coined a term. All our curriculum is teacher enabled and learner centric. Teacher should enable the student to learn. Curriculum must be learner centric, no doubt, but teacher is a king or queen of the course. Believe me, in COEP, we have this philosophy. Teacher is a king or queen of the course. He is the owner of the course. He is the driver of the course, aggressive driver of the course. It should be learner centric, but learner should not drive the teacher, that he should dilute the course syllabus. No, teacher decides the depth of the course. How much curriculum content I should have, that teacher decides. So it is teacher enabled, but learner centric. Okay. I should not simply be submissive to learners. That should not happen. Content delivery styles can be learner centric, but course content depth, width, spread, spectrum should be divided, but should be decided by teacher only. Okay. Encouraging innovations in pedagogy. There are sessions on pedagogy in this FDP also. So how to deliver, how to evaluate? There can be innovative. There I should use PowerPoint, I should use PDF, I should blend my course with the videos, whatever. Okay. You should make it interactive, it should be monotonous, it should be dialogue, it should be monologue, all that you can design. Challenging to deliver, but easy to assimilate. Challenging to deliver. It should not be easy to deliver also for the teacher. Otherwise, teachers will be outdated. They will be rotten. They will not learn. They will not keep their learning curves ever sharp. Okay. But easy to assimilate. Assimilate means gather, collect, grasp. At the student's end, it should be easy to grasp, right? Welcome by industry and corporate, because they are our ultimate customers. Ensuring good job prospects, good opportunity in higher education, good in research, good in entrepreneurship. All opportunities for my students should be naturally relevant to them, right? I have to anyway make my student globally acceptable, locally relevant. That is the ultimate caption which we should always have. These are attributes of quality curriculum. Okay. Now coming to curriculum structures, you are all teachers. I should not waste much of time on this. There are some terms and terminologies. Okay. There is, see, subject is not the term now. Course. Teacher takes ownership of the course and he delivers the course. Subject is now outdated terminology, believe me. So you are all now course teachers. There is a theory course, there is a lab course, there is a core course, there is elective course, there is seminar course, there is project course, there is internship course, there is group discussion course, etc., etc. Okay, and all these short forms. Program core course, PCC, basic science course. Okay, engineering science course. So fundamentals of computer programming is engineering science course. Fundamental thermodynamics, engineering science course. Basics of civil engineering, engineering science course. Whereas applied chemistry, physics, electromagnetism and optics is a basic science course. Maths 1, 2, 3, 4, basic science course. LC is a lab course. Humanities, social science and management course, HSM3. This is the acronym for that. Mandatory learning course, Constitution of India, professional ethics and law, intellectual property rights. All these are mandatory learning courses. All these acronyms now, today probably you are well aware of. All universities are mandated, are compelled to make use of these acronyms and short forms. Okay. Curriculum structure has got teaching scheme. How many credits, how many hours of engagement, 3 hours course, 4 hours course, 4 credit course, 2 lab hours per week. How many per week engagement we have in classroom and in theory, that is there. Evaluation scheme, examination scheme, 2 unit tests, 2 class tests in the semester, 1 NSEM case for 60 marks, 1 unit test of 20 marks, another unit test of 20 marks, total 100 marks, etc. etc. Contact us. You are all aware with this. By and large, today we have all gone for credit system. Is it choice based? Truly no. We are not into truly choice based system. Okay. Choice we are giving student in the form of electives. Right? This is an elective choice we have, but it is not truly choice based. There is no time for me now to explain what is meaning of truly choice based. We are into credit system. By and large, system now, it is mandated by AICTE UGC to go for credit system. So every course has got credit. We'll come to it. So it's a CBCS. Then we assess the student for marks. Okay. Then wherever we don't have system of CPI or SGPA, CGPA, we still convert that to percentage of marks. We accumulate marks and we give the class. Okay. In COEP type autonomous colleges or IITs, we don't have percentage, we don't have class. We convert marks to grades. Okay, there are later grades, excellent grade, A grade, B grade, C grade, fail grade, D grade, etc. etc. So there is a marks to grade converter, right? And that grades are then using credits and grades together. How much weightage the course carries, how much grades the student had acquired in examination. There is cumulative grade point average and there is semester grade point average which are calculated. Okay, so weightage of the lectures for the course and the grades acquired by the examination. Okay, so how much importance that course has and how much is the performance of student in a examination. Together is taken into SGPA, CGPA, CPI calculation. Okay, based on that we have toppers, etc., etc. Based on that we have ranks also. Then we have graduation ceremony, we have convocation ceremony, we award the degree, we have the gold medal. This is end, ultimate conclusion of that curriculum. Is it not? Process of teaching learning, right? Let us study AICTE modular curriculum, which was released in January 2018, and in particular engineering UG programs. They also, in the later time, sequentially, they also announced the engineering PG program modular curriculum. It was released over there. Okay, but then we will be discussing majority here engineering UG program curriculum. That's the way. AICTE modular curriculum 2018, some features. They are there. We studied them, we analyzed it, and some features over there. UG programs, they suggested. By the way, AICTE modular curriculum is a guideline. Guideline is to be followed not in verbatim, in letters. It is to be followed philosophically, in spirit. That is my advice, suggestion. If there are some faculty from autonomous colleges or universities, then AICTE model curriculum is a guideline. So guideline should not be followed in letters. I should not copy it. I should not copy it verbatim. I can also go for deviations. COEP did that. Okay. But that more or less I should follow AICTE model curriculum. Okay. IITs, NITs, private universities, they are out of purview of AICTE. Public universities are not. Autonomous colleges are not. Because in autonomous colleges, degree conferment is not with them, with us. Therefore, autonomous colleges have to still follow AICTE model curriculum. IITs, NITs, IIITs, ISERs, private universities, they are beyond purview of AICTE model curriculum, right? So AICTE suggested it was all committee which was comprising of all branch-wise model curriculum they have published. Chairman of all committees was IIT professor. For example, for ENTC, for my branch, chairman was Professor Shevgaonkar from IIT Bombay, who moved on to SPPU Vice Chancellor. He worked as SPPU Vice Chancellor for a couple of years. Then he moved on to become IIT Delhi Director. Then he retired. Now today he is a Vice Chancellor of one of the private universities in UP, Noida, Bennett University. He is a very accomplished and acclaimed professor of ENTC, fiber optic communication man, and he chaired that committee for ENTC. All IIT professors, they chaired the committee branch-wise. right? And then there was, under them, the committee had all representation. COEP had an opportunity to represent in those committees. Okay, we had. And therefore we say that UG program, the committee unanimously recommended 150 to 160 credits for UG programs, 68 credits for PG programs in the country. They just guided that. They suggested, advised that. Course category is similar to COEP. We had a chance to present our curriculum over there because we had connection with Professor Shavgavkar, many IIT Bombay professors, many IIT Kanpur professors, we had a connection with them. And because AICT chairman today, Professor Sastra Buddhe, he led us for 9 long years. So we had also access to him, and then he was probably very impressed with our practices of curriculum design. So he invited us over there, and we could convince that this is a good way of designing model curriculum. And that's the way it happened. Okay, we never influenced it. We rather suggested, and it was accepted by and large. So course category similar to COEP, more or less. It is universal also, nothing like it's not COEP's, I can say, intellectual property. Balanced distribution of credits, engagement among courses, MLCs with 0 credits. Okay, MLC is what? Mandatory learning course like Constitution of India, IPR and law, let's say. So all that became with 0 credits, so that we can save credits for core courses and our own branch courses, right? That's the thing. Mandatory induction program that you all do probably, all AICT affiliated colleges, approved colleges have to do 6 weeks mandatory induction program for freshers, first year BTech students, right? We are doing it 6 weeks. Induction program is mandatory. Summer induction mandatory in the 6th semester summer. It is mandatory, right? Mandatory MOOCs, online courses is now mandatory. All that is a feature of AICT model curriculum. Induction program, summer internships in industry. Okay, that is mandatory over there. Some good titles of the courses worth adopting. We did that in COEP also. We borrowed from them. We suggested them some titles. Some are borrowable from them. For example, a traditional course on engineering drawing. They have suggested a good title, engineering graphics and design. Okay, it's a graphics and design, good title to adopt for conventional engineering drawing. Good title, right? Programming for problem solving. See, engineers are problem solvers. I said, no, it is problems that we solve. It is programming is nothing to learn the syntax of the language. It is to learn for problem solving. Okay, how to make use of Python. Data structures of language are not to be learned at first year level, but better how to define a problem, how to deploy the programming languages for problem solving. Workshop on manufacturing practices. It's not only a workshop which is only fabrication workshop. Okay, it's on workshop on manufacturing practices. Effective technical communication. I'm not going to create orators for let's say speeches, public speeches. Management programs are meant for that. Engineering programs are not meant for that. I'm going to create only good speakers over here who can deliver motivational speeches. No, I have to have effective technical communication, right? So we have to produce good technical documents, how to write good technical papers, how to produce good technical presentations. That's the way. Professional practice, law and ethics, that is clubbed into one. Clubbed into one. We should have professional industrial practices, law and ethics clubbed together, to name a few. These are good titles of the courses which are worth adopting. They propose, this is actually COEP practice, which we adopted from IITs actually. We proposed it and they accepted it, right? Even though basic UG program of giving degree is 150 to 160 credits, plus 20 credits we can add to it. And we can have our own honors and minor degree. Autonomous colleges can do that. That's the suggestion. Honors is a degree with additional 20 credits of courses which are confining to our own branch. Minor is from other branch. So I'm basically a computer science engineer. I can take 20 additional credits from mechanical. I then become minor engineer from mechanical. I am major in already my branch, own branch, let's say computer science. Okay. But honors means what? Honors in, let's say, VLSI design and semiconductor chip design. I'm ENTC major engineer. Honors I'll add from my one more vertical, technology vertical of my own. IoT is my vertical, let's say. I can have honors in IoT. That can be possible. Honors typically confines to my own technology domain. Minor is orthogonal domain from other technology domain, right? That's the way. Coursework in third semester of PG program that they suggested. Initially, in the earlier iteration, we had only a PG program. It is a 4-semester program. MTech or ME program is 4 semesters. So there was coursework which was spread in only semester 1, semester 2. They suggested to spread coursework in 3rd semester also. Okay. Credit for dissertation reduced to 24. Adoptable courses, RM and IPR, research methodology and IPR at PG. This I'm telling you for PG over there, right? Friends, believe me, when this AICTE model curriculum was being devised, I was part of it. Many of my COEP colleagues were part of it. Okay. What happened is worldwide there is a trend that formal credits for program should reduce. That's a worldwide trend. Formal credits for program should reduce. For if formal credits are reducing, that means classroom and lab engagement of students with the teachers should reduce. Because worldwide there is a thought process that students can learn on their own. Self-learning. They can learn from MOOCs. They can learn from virtual lab. They can learn from peers. They can learn from any resources. Okay. You are teachers on campus, laboratories on campus, only campus is not the learning resource for them. Therefore, formal engagement in classroom should be reduced. That is worldwide phenomenon. We have to encourage and motivate the students to self-learn. Okay, so give them heavy assignments, heavy problems to solve on their own. This should not be assigned with the credits. Make them free of classroom, free from laboratories. They can be on their own for learning. This is, believe me, worldwide trend. Okay, and we have to abide by, be surrendering, be submissive to this worldwide trend. So AICTE also did that. All IITs are on the lines of that. IIT Bombay has 128, 130 credits program. Very, very flexible. Very, very flexible. Right? They can do rather. I have a last slide of that only. We'll come to it. Last slide for that only. What are the world global trends for it? Okay. What are the trends for it? Then this is all like that. And therefore there is honors, minor, this is choice. This is choice based. No? Choice goes to the students over there. Okay. So also credits for projects and dissertation are reducing. Why? Because if there is an emphasis on projects and dissertations, then students can unnecessarily awarded more marks. Because see, that is not the way. They have to self-earn and do it. That is something like a worldwide trend over there. That has happened. Credit definition remains same. I have pasted it from AICTE website, so it looks like this. There is an image pasted. Okay. 1 lecture per hour means 1 credit. 1 tutorial per hour per week means 1 credit. 1 hour of practical means 0.5 credit. 2 hours of practical per week means 1 credit. We universally follow it. You know that. No problem. Okay. How should we break up credit distribution among courses? How it should be? Humanities, social science, management. Let's say it's a 160 credit total program. Out of 160, 12 credits should be towards HSMC courses. 12 credits. Humanities, social science, management courses should be 12 credits. This is suggestion, advice. You can, this is not perfect distribution. 160, 26 should go for basic sciences. Suggestion. Engineering science courses using workshop, drawing, first year courses, basics of electrical, mechanical, computer, programming. Is it not? That all is engineering foundation course, science course, thermodynamics, all should encompass 29. So first year department, 26 plus 29. All these courses typically are first year courses. 26 plus 29, they should go. Some, so because first year is typically 22, 23, 44 credits. So some of the courses can be transferred to second year also. But basic science and engineering science courses typically are finished, completed in first 2 years. First year and majority first year, then second year. Professional program core courses, majority, 47 credits, big. Program elective courses, okay, 23. The elective means department elective, open elective, branch wise elective, whatever you say, okay. Or, but the technology electives, there should be 23 credits for that. Open electives from other branches, maybe management, maybe finance, other technical emerging subjects, technology trends, 11. Okay. Then project work, seminar, 12. Industry internship, all that should be at appropriate workplace, academic research institutions. See, they are allowing internships at academic research institutions also. You can go to defense organization, DRDO, ARD, IIT Bombay. You can come to COEP. We have an MOU with all autonomous colleges in the state. And those students come to us for spending a semester, credit transfer. They come for the coursework. They can also come for 6 weeks in the summer at COEP for internships in the laboratories. Every time we don't require industry internships, right? That can happen. So all that comes over here with the 12 credits. So see, project work credits are reduced. They're distributed in seminar, internships in industry, etc., etc. You can also encourage students to go for abroad internship, foreign internship. All is there, that is 12. And all mandatory courses. Environmental science, induction program for the 6 weeks, Indian constitution, essence of Indian traditional knowledge, Vedas, Ayurveda, NSS, NCC, yoga, all this is non-paid. They are known as mandatory learning. Minor variation is permitted as per need of respect to discipline. Right now, star is here. So COEP went for this. We have 166 credit UG program. 166. We did not follow that IICT model curriculum in the latest. We did not copy it. Okay. This is suggested distribution of credits, right? That is done. How is the credit distribution? First year semester 1, 17.5. First year semester 2, 20.5. Then semester 3, 4, 5, 6, heavy, 22, 23, 23, 23. So heavy part of engineering curriculum comes in second year, third year. Okay, there is slow ramping up because first year students are new to the campus. They have got all that stigma. They are scared of engineering programs. Okay, they leave their parents' home. They come to the new culture. They come to new ambience. So they should slowly they should be accustomed to the engineering programs. So there is a ramping, gradual change. So first semester only 17.5 credits. Okay, 0.5 probably there can be 1 hour practical contact lab, therefore 20.5 next semester. Okay, and then see contact hours are proportional to credits. That is happening over here. Okay, but see again BTech last semester, 7th and 8th semester, number of credits are reduced because students can then engage in MOOCs, engage in project, etc., etc. That can happen. Again, there is a dilution in number of credits. Number of credits means naturally classroom lab engagement, campus engagement, that is reducing. First year it is gradually increasing. Tough is second year, third year. Third year is typically toughest. As far as technical content delivery goes, third year should be toughest, hardest. Okay. And in BTech, we should again liberalize them, make them free so that they can go to industry for a project, go to internships. That must happen. Okay. So academic engagement on campus should be reduced. The number of credits is reduced. That is a suggestion which we have gone for it. Then LTP is some abbreviation. LTP is lecture, tutorial, practical. All that's this, basic science course, engineering science course, HSMC, program core. All I have already one slide which was based on this. Mandatory course, laboratory course, open elective course, core course. All these are now quite standard kind of stuff. Induction program, 3 weeks they say, but 3 to 6 weeks. And it is a liberty given to the campus. It should comprise of physical activity, creative arts, universal human values, literary, proficiency modules, lectures by eminent people, visit to local areas, familiarization with department branch innovations. All this was actually, it was proposed by one of the professors from IIT BHU, Professor Rajiv Bansal. And he said that this campus awareness program and a slow ramping up. Okay, campus awareness program was the first program. It was then given the name as induction program. Okay, it should be typically encompassing this kind of content delivery. Okay, that should happen. That is the way one should go ahead. And probably you might be doing it now. And we have a department of first year at COEP. All my first year faculty, they are engaged, they are bestowed with the responsibility of handling induction program, which is the campus awareness program. They invite eminent people, they arrange visits to local areas, they have universal human values, creative. All the COEP deans, deputy director, myself, our director, Professor Ahuja, we deliver sessions, motivational sessions to the students, and we see to it that we familiarize the student with the campus so that that kind of stigma which they carry for COEP, that vanishes. All IITs were already doing it because all IITs are residential. All students stay on campus. Okay, and therefore for them that is easier also. For COEP like campus, 50% students are on campus, 50% are day scholars off campus. Okay, but still we have this model now. From last 2-3 years we are doing it, and we are more or less familiarized them, right? Curriculum structure at COEP, a case study I said. How did we do that? Academic feature, the education model. COEP received autonomous status in, this is interesting story, and this is the last part of my presentation session with you. I'll set some 10-15 minutes to that. We'll then go for questions and answers, right? In 2003, we received autonomous status. Who gives autonomy? UGC gives autonomy. Okay, and the UGC committee came in 2002-3 to COEP, and there was an AICT representative in that UGC committee. Then there is state government representative. There is a university, Pune University representative. A big committee, 10-12 people came to us, and they conferred autonomous status to COEP. It was academic autonomy. Academic autonomy means we become free from university academically. We can have our own curriculum design, own curriculum delivery, own curriculum examination. So all those patterns come to us. We'll have our own examination cell, own control of examination, own academic council, own board of studies. All academics comes under our control. Okay. Then we decided that every 4 years we will have curriculum structure change, regular frequency, 5 iterations in last 2003, 7, 11, 15, 19. 19 is the ongoing iteration. Every 4 years we did. Why 4 years? Because in 4 years, one batch passes out. Is it not? Within 4 years, one UG batch passes out. Okay. For PG, it becomes 2 batches pass out. So therefore, it is after 2 years, PG batch pass out. But 4 years, we decided in 4 years, drastically technology changes. In 4 years, one batch of graduating engineers passes out. So we can synchronize it with 4 years, no issues. So I had an opportunity to lead 2015 curriculum iteration, 2019 curriculum iteration, both. And then how did we change UG program credits? It was 176. We have that wisdom in COEP that we should not unnecessarily burden the students with many credits. But we also had one foolish iteration 2007, which was 192 credits. But see, thereafter, we continuously went on reducing credits. 180 in 2011. 2015, we had 170 plus 12. This plus 12 was for honors minor, additional choice-based stuff, which can give to some students. Some student by choice can come to honors minor. It was 170. Now in 2019, we have 166 credits. So we didn't exactly follow AICT. We followed 166 plus 12. We are again not gone for 20 credits for minor honor. We are still gone for 12 credits only. While your PG programs were 80 initially, then we changed to 74. Today we have 68. Okay. So program credits means formal academic engagement in classroom, in lectures, in theory, in labs, on campus is reducing. We earlier used to say Senate. We now have academic council. This is nomenclature comes from UGC, right? It's an apex institutional body to deliberate, decide, approve, and resolve all the academic issues and concerns and set the novel practices, analyze the practices, change for better. We have boards of studies in the department independently, separately for UG and PG. UG we say department level, undergraduate program committee, department level, postgraduate program committee. They are actually boards of studies for UG, PG separately. All boards have due representative industry. Industry dominates in COEP. COEP has a history or tradition because Pune happens to be industrially rich city, industry dominant, right? Pune has got that privilege. All automotive, all software, all manufacturing, you name the company, it is there. Name the company, it is there. All electronics, we have majority of industries in the city of Pune. All beginners, multinationals, small scales, MSME, and COEP takes its privilege and probably it boasts, we are proud of that we are quite an industry friendly campus, traditionally, historically. We have very decent and very huge alumni sit with us, and those alumni also contribute. And all higher learning centers. Pune is again very rich in higher learning organizations. We have DRDO, we have ARDE, we have ICER, we have NCL, so many good organizations, so many good, all laboratories and organizations over there. We have representation from those also. We see to it that we have alumni, industry and defense organization or probably ICER representation on all our boards of studies. Stress on science fundamentals at UG. We are very profound. We say that science is the foundation of engineering. All of you will believe science is the foundation of engineering. Really, okay? Engineering technology is borrowed from science. Okay, science is the parent, and mathematics, actually physics is the core science, right? Physics defines nature, and the language of definition is mathematics. That is the philosophy which we follow at COEP. Physics is the nature, right? Physics defines the nature. How does light behave? How does sound behave? How every activity in nature happens, that physics defines it, right? Materials is chemistry, and mathematics is a language of science, right? So all that science, maths, chemistry must be there. Biology, we recently, not recently, in 2007, we introduced biology. Biology is we named it very nicely. It is science of living systems. Human body is living system, and it is science of living systems, right? And today, see, AI has come into existence. All machine learning is borrowed from human brain, and therefore we introduce biology for engineers long back. Pictures so that was there. We introduced biology as well. So we believe that math, science, physics, chemistry, biology all must be very profoundly taught to the engineering students. Biology is a core course compulsory for all engineers and on campus. Believe me, you will find it strange, but we are. IIT Bombay has biology for engineers. Many IITs now have it, but we already had it in, and we gave it probably the appearance of genetic engineering and genome engineering. It is different. It's not biology of like all we teach in 11, 12. It is different biology. Okay, and all that is part of station science fundamentals, right? We have continuous student evaluation, 2 end semester tests followed by end semester examination, all lab courses by external examiners from reputed institute. This practice is borrowed from Pune University. Okay, Pune University has many good practices. Even though we were detached from Pune University, we are still following all good practices of Pune University also, right? Project dissertation by industry, it is practice borrowed from Pune University, we are doing it. Marks to relative grades to SGPA, CGPA, all that we do. Relative grading is a very beautiful concept. Beautiful concept, right? Relative grading means it is not just a marks to grade conversion. It is not simply like that, not at all. Okay, if the toughness of the course a teacher judges, toughness of course, electromagnetics happens to be a tough course, heavily mathematical course compared to a course on, let's say, digital electronics. It's a simple course. Okay, if it's a simple course, then
Hello. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Hello.
Yes. I have unmuted.
Thank you so much. Yes. Sir, we will have question answer session. Okay. I request Sonone sir to unmute the participants. Participants, you can ask your questions to Sutavne sir, please.
I'll stop sharing then, okay?
Sure, sir, sure.
Sir, have you completed your session? I think sir had a call and that's why sir had taken a pause.
Okay, no problem.
I think that Anil Patil sir has misunderstood that the session is over. That's why.
No, anyway, I was about to present. How much time we have anyway?
No, sir, we have still time, sir. Until 12:05.
Okay. Then let me come to then my.
Sir, if you have the last slide or 1 or 2 slides, you can please continue.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, take your time, sir, because you were on a call and he misunderstood, sir.
Oh,
no issue.
So I keep on receiving calls. There's no problem.
Sure.
Yes, I have a call. Sir, you can continue, please.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have a re-examination. Relative grading, you understood. It's a toughness of the course toughness of the examination paper. And then even if a student scores 80 marks, I can tell him that he's an excellent grade student. Okay, so marks and grade, this is correlation is not fixed. It's not fixed, right? There is absolute grading, which is 91 to 100 means excellent, 81 to 90 means A, then 71 to 80 means B. It is not like that. Okay, teacher can decide what should be the grading pattern. That's the way. Okay, then we have for academically weaker student section, we have summer term, we have re-examination immediately. After 15 days, we conduct a re-examination. Okay, then in summer term, we teach them, we re-teach them. There is a revision kind of stuff. We take the 10-15 lectures and again exam. So there is a attempt after attempt. Academically weaker students, they have 2 attempts afterwards, right? They fail once, then they go for re-examination. That's the attempt number 1 without re-teaching. In summer term, we re-teach them. See, we require teachers' engagement with the students, therefore, right? This section, academic section, said they need teachers. They need teachers, right? So we go for re-examination, we go for summer term, but the course teacher is the ultimate authority to decide the pattern of in-sem, end-sem evaluation, decide pattern of grading. All novel practices of examination, open book exam, open time exam, open internet exam, open Google exam, all of these are really, really encouraged and appreciated. Traditional paper pen examination, we don't encourage. Okay, now last year, pandemic year, corona year, COVID year, taught all of us to go for novel practices in examination. You must have tried that. We have Moodle, we have WebEx, we have Zoom, we have Teams, we have tried Google Form, many examinations we tried. Okay, and so that our examination should be ethical, should be strict, that we tried. But COEP, before that also, we had all these patterns of examinations. Examination also is a part of pedagogy. How to teach good, how to use novel practices in pedagogy, that is not the only important. But how to innovate on examinations is also a tough task. But friends, one advice word from me that see that we are going to all have to switch. Whatever class you have, whether university gives you that freedom or liberty or not, I don't know. In COEP, yeah, because your academic autonomous, we have that liberty. Whole world class institutes in the world, in the globe, they have self-assignment based teaching. Means what? Self-learning assignment. They don't teach much. Teaching is not done much. Okay. Teaching is always blended. Means I'll share the learning material. I'll be advisor for the teacher is more of an advisor, course facilitator. Okay. And in that course facilitation, what happens? That I don't teach much. I just advise the students how to learn the course. Okay. Out of 60 minutes, I'll probably teach for 30 minutes and remaining 30 minutes, I'll be just solving their queries. I'll be attempting their queries. For that attempting queries, I should have shared the learning material a day before or probably a week before that I should do. Then I should give them tough assignments, group assignments, individual assignments, and I will be assessing the assignments, evaluating the assignments. That is a trend in IITs, which NIT started following, which COEP also follows because we are academically autonomous. Okay, assignment should be given much tough assignments. Tough means the difficulty level, which is matching with the IQ, with the quality of your student intake. Okay, that is the worldwide practice which is done. Some academic practices worth mentioning in COEP, inclusion of skill-based course at undergraduate level, 1 in each semester. Every semester we have 1 skill course, hands-on course, in which the students, teams, in groups, they learn how to deal with the laboratory equipment, how to develop a small prototype, how to do some simulation package, all that they learn. Okay. Taking advantage of our relations with industry, we have a co-teaching technique or say modality, pedagogy at COEP. What is co-teaching? 5 units in my course I teach. 1 unit in the course is taught by my industry friend. It is known as co-teaching. 6th unit in our curriculum is always case studies. There are 5 units and typically we start from 3rd year onwards. So semester 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, we have such co-teaching. Students are matured, and then there is typically 6th unit in the curriculum is case study. That case study, is delivered by industry personnel, IIT faculty. We call them in particular for that, so that students get an advantage or an upper hand of their sharing experiences from the industry, from the mouth of industry, from the mouth of IIT professor directly. Okay, this time also we did it. In online mode, we did that. And that gives additional flavor. Traditional conventional teachers will teach 5 modules, but there will be additional teaching by IIT professors or industry. We are very much successful in implementing this model. Understanding that entrepreneurship is a country's call of the country. What we did is like this. Entrepreneurs are not born. They are to be cultivated. We have 1 credit course on entrepreneurship process compulsory at 3rd year. But it was preceded by a course on innovation in 2nd year, common for all students. 1 credit course on innovation. For innovation, we require design thinking. So design thinking is a inherent thinking, right? It was a course introduced in 2019 curriculum revision at 1st year common. All 1000 students of 1st year learn a course on design thinking, 1 credit course. Design thinking is stimulating your right brain for new ideas. How to think innovatively. Innovation is a course, 1 credit course. 1 credit means 12-13 lectures only. It is common course for all 2nd year students. And then entrepreneurship process, common course, 1 credit, 12-13 hours of teaching, 3rd year common for all. This we did. Okay, we have MOOCs everywhere, online courses everywhere. Liberty given to the student to blend a online course with his or her regular teaching in a classroom allowed. We can do that in autonomy. Liberal learning course is an arts course, typically arts course, a photographic course, a dance course, a course on history of technology, a course on performing music, course on instrument learning, whatever. Okay, liberal, it's a credit course by the way. Okay, industry internship taken from IIT. We already had industry internship for many students informally going on. Now we made it formal. Okay, mini project, major project that you already have, you have it, right? At PG, we had a different idea because the research starts with PG. Worldwide, there is a firm belief that research for PhD, it begins at PG. UG is generic, but research begins at PG. And for research, all research in the world begins from analytics. And for analytics, we require mathematics, right? No, analysis cannot happen without mathematics. We have PG program specific maths course at all PG programs. In COEP, we had 28 PG programs, all overflooded by aspiring students. Okay, we have program specific maths course. We have course on power electronics, PG program in power electronics. We have PG program in communication network. We have PG program in cyber security. They have their own refined mathematics course at that PG, right? With a 1 PG course on research methodology. Because research starts with PG. Remember that. And therefore we could do it in our autonomous COEP. We could do that. The student exchange program effectively implemented for all autonomous colleges in the state. We have MOU with all autonomous colleges. Be it Walchand College, Sangli, be it SGGS, Nanded, be it VJTI, Mumbai, be it SP College, Mumbai, be it Rai Soni College, Nagpur. Many autonomous colleges in the state. We DKT, Ichalkaranji. We have many KIT, Kolhapur. We have all those students who can spend at least 1 semester, maximum 2 semesters with COEP. They can have internship program at COEP. Our students go to IIT Bombay. Our students go to IIT Delhi. They go many times foreign to the foreign. They go to VJTI sometimes. They go to Walchand College for credit exchange, for internship. This is all worth mentioning academic practices which we have done, right? I'll skip this and then I'll naturally go to honors and minor. There is some word because this is also inclusion in AICT. Honors means, we said all bright and aspiring learners, CGPA above 8 will opt for honors courses track of his or own branch. So I said information security can be a vertical, cyber security vertical, or machine learning is a vertical in computer science or ENTC branch. We are offering honors in machine learning or cyber security. It's an advanced nature course. Some 15, 18 credits you can award, and we can get BTech honors. Department to prepare list of advanced courses. We did that in 2015 only, right? Whereas what is minor? Minor is again a choice for the student. So bright and aspiring learner, CGPA above 8 will opt for minor. Me opt for minor course around any other branch, right? He can take a set of courses from manufacturing, set of courses from computer science. A ENTC student can take a course from computer science, okay, and can get a minor BTech minor degree from them. See, major means what? Major means our own degree. 166 credit degree is a major. We are additionally offering honors and minor. Honors in same. And we don't say major. Major degree we won't title it as major, but in honors minor we have like this. And for honors minor for academic colleges, no permissions are required from AICT, University of Pune, UGC. Only information is enough, intimation is enough, right? And then students will receive additional credentials for that. And we could find ENTC student taking minor from computer science, or a metallurgy student taking a minor from ENTC. They were declared eligible for placements from those domain specific industry. That became an advantage. Okay, that became an advantage. That engineering.
Yes, sir. Respected Sutone, sir. Please unmute, sir. You are muted.
Okay, okay. So this is the last slide of my presentation. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, you are audible,
Okay.
but we are not able to see your slide.
Oh, is it? What should I do? I should stop sharing and then again
Yes, sir, yes.
I should do that, right?
Yes, sir, it is visible. National scheme.
Yes.
National
Okay.
scheme. Okay. Yes.
So there are two last slides now. Undergraduate program in engineering considered to be training for engineering or pre-engineering. Okay. And therefore some common preparatory coursework up to first 4-5 semesters. See, in India, we have after first year, there is a branching. Students go to branch. The common course of only is up to first year. But then in the countries like US, Stanford, MIT also, they teach common coursework. And therefore they have a lot of humanities, social sciences, those all program attributes, no graduate attributes, which I told you, attribute 6 to 12. They encompass that and they teach common coursework up to first 4-5 semesters. Actual UG engineering starts from 5th semester, 6th semester onwards. Strange, but that is the way. Okay. Core engineering is assumed to begin at PG. So MS, ME, MTech, these are the, here actually ENTC and then all that starts, computer science, etc. That is something which is happening worldwide. Concept of credit to be extended may be deeply attached with self-learning and home assignment. I already told you. Credit doesn't mean classroom engagement. Credit doesn't mean the, I can say, lab engagement. It should be more attached with self-learning and home assignments. Engineering program is reduced formal credit. That is a worldwide trend. So AICT also suggested you that, and we are doing it, right? What is national scene? More freedom and flexibility to institutes, colleges for curriculum design delivery, though affiliated. Our Pune University is quite empowering, quite liberalizing, and they have given much of the freedom to colleges, affiliated colleges also. Academically, autonomous institutes are increasing in numbers. Good scene. Okay. COEP to his mentee colleges always encourages, always motivates to adopt for autonomous status. Autonomy is wonderful, simply wonderful. Okay. It is a liberty, it is freedom, And how freedom can be bad? It cannot be bad, right? But we do need to deploy autonomy in a true sense. Okay, so when freedom comes with the accountability. Freedom comes with responsibility. Okay, private universities are experimenting with diversified models of education because they have to live in competition. Huge competition is there. They are not getting students. Okay, actually, this BTech program in machine learning, BTech program in AI, BTech program in robotics, BTech program in data analytics, they started. This trend actually came from private universities, and therefore AICTE also was, pressurized to introduce these courses, kind of stuff, right? Then IIT Hyderabad followed it. It was reverse way. Private universities, because of their competition, they experimented with this. There is BTech in machine learning now, heavily specialized, because private universities are quite market driven, market oriented. Right now, there is a global trend on CBCS, choice-based credit system, reduced credits, self-learning, assignment-based evaluation. Right now, that is to be best understood by us also. It is not that we are list of 8 experiments and we stop at that. A lot of innovation is possible. Teachers should be empowered. That you should not think in a very customized and framework manner. 8 experiments Vidyapeeth suggests, university suggests. Then stick to only 8 experiments. No, this is not the way. Conceive 4 experiments beyond curriculum. Conceive a unit which is not part of curriculum, which is in alignment with the technology, alignment with the industry. Deliver it. That is something to be done over there. Okay, education is to be liberalized to the flavor of the teacher and not regulated. This is national scheme. Therefore, national education policy is liberalizing policy. We do not want to regulate the education. Teacher should be autonomous in his own way, but teacher should be always a motivated teacher. We should leave that framework, regulatory kind of setup apart, and we should see to that we should be innovative in our teaching learning, innovative in designing curriculum. Should not stick to curriculum which is mentioned. We should always go beyond curriculum. Okay, MATLAB is not there in my curriculum. MATLAB, I should learn that platform on my own and ask my student to deploy Fourier transform on MATLAB. It is something my contribution to the content beyond curriculum. This is expected of a teacher today, right? That is happening. Apt references we followed for curriculum design. Excellence, I already said, it's a journey. It's a horizon journey, right? Quality is not an accident. Curriculum design can be most novel, state of art, but its execution in terms of delivery and evaluation contribute to quality, right? OB is a true guideline to be followed religiously for quality in education. That has become my opinion now, and we cannot escape OB. So accreditation by NBA NAAC is must over there. Thank you. I'm done with this, and questions are most welcome. I'll stop sharing now and go for questions. Thank you really for patient listening. It was a long session and you have to listen to it, but anyway, questions are most welcome. If you have any, questions are most welcome.
Sincere reverence to respected Sotowane sir for such a marathon intellectual stuff. This is immense useful to all the academicians. Honor and minor degrees will really turn a milestone, and the students will be multifaceted in perspective of interdisciplinary approach. Sir, I think that you will really like to interact with all the participants. So the participants are requested to unmute at their end, and you can communicate on this platform.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, yes, Anil Londe, you are audible. Please continue.
Mr. Londe, from sir, nice informative session for us. Even the some, but it's not at all in knowledgeable session. Sir, you told that you will go for more. Finally, you just told that given.
Your voice is breaking.
You must have to go for more.
You said that Anil Londe, Mr. Anil Londe, your voice is breaking. Will you
Sir,
please
1 minute,
make sure that you stand in the proper bandwidth place?
Okay, sir. Now, am I audible?
We could not hear you. Please try. It is better now.
Sir,
Huh.
sir, what sir told is that is we are sticking with the syllabus and we are not going beyond the syllabus. But
Yes.
sir, the very difficult situation in front of all the teachers is that nowadays, because I'm in this field from last 25 years.
Yes.
Before 10 years, it was not like that. But now scenario has changed, and now students are not that much interested. Okay, how to change the psychology of students? Because even in the syllabus, 15, 16 experiments are given, and university says that you just conduct the 8 experiments out of these 16.
Out of this,
okay?
yes.
Even we are having all the setup of 14 to 15 experiment, but it is not possible for us to conduct that all experiments due to restriction of the time, one thing, and second, students are also not interested. Even we are conducting 8 experiments, there also they show the negligence there. So what I mean to say is that how we can change the psychology of the student, that is a more difficult situation in front of us.
Really, very, very wonderful question, but there is no probably a concrete answer from my end. Okay, teacher has to psychologically deal with the students to tackle this problem, and this is really tough problem. And
sir, everybody is facing the same problem, sir.
Yes. How to keep the students' interest live in learning. I agree with you, totally concur with you. And this is not the problem with only duffer students. Take it from me. Even IIT Bombay, they get the best of the best in the country, right? But Professor Dadre, I will just share one story with you. He is a very good, that's the most acclaimed teacher in IIT Bombay from our domain, ENTC domain. Okay, and he says how to make students attain classes has become a problem from last 4, 5, 6 years. Okay, how to make them attain, because they're not interested. See, they receive all JEE advanced topmost students, and really the trend is towards self-learning. They are not insincere students. Okay, but then how to make them attend classes is a big challenge for him. How to make the sessions interesting, and students don't want to learn now only from teachers, is it not? So one thing which we should do is that we should have these pedagogical practices, right? Make our half session only for let's say hours, and the remaining half from video clips, some 10 minutes interactive. You have to follow all those tricks now. All conventional teaching we should leave apart, and those tricks and gimmicks we should follow nowadays, right? Some discipline, some regulation, and some kind of a interest that together we have to mix. But it is teacher's own skill.
Yes,
for me,
because
students are a bit sincere. For us, they are quite sincere.
सर तो एक्सपिरियन्स आहेच आहे, कारण सेम स्टुडंट्स आहेत, काही टीचर करता खूप चांगले रिॲक्ट करतात, आणि काही टीचर करता ते थोडस रिॲक्ट देत नाही त्यांना रिस्पॉन्स तेवढा. त्याचा अर्थ तोच आहे की इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द टीचर ऑल्सो.
हो, पण मी तुम्हाला एकच ऍडवाइस देऊ शकेल की तुमचं नॉलेज खूप अप टू डेट ठेवा, आणि ते नॉलेज जर तुमच्याकडे असलं आणि तुमचं कम्युनिकेशन स्किल चांगलं असलं, डिलिव्हरी चांगली असली, तर you can still magnetically attract students. See, teacher should be a magnet for the students.
Yes,
right? Teacher must be a magnet. And then with the disciplinary tools which we have, आपल्याकडे मार्क असतात त्यांचे, टर्मवर्क असतात, ते सगळं दाखवावंच लागतं. We are older to them, right? आपण सिनियर आहोत ना, वयाने सिनियर आहोत, तो पॅरेंटल धाक तर दाखवायचाच असतो. पण यू हॅव टू ऑल्सो बिकम नॉलेजेबल. आपले स्किल्स आपण सतत शार्पन केले पाहिजे, सतत. टू बी मॅग्नेटिक विथ देम, त्याचं झालं पाहिजे. So we do it, right? I still at this age, I try to do it, try to enrich my knowledge by outside courses. That you must do. That advice I can do, but the common answer is not there. How to increase sincerity of students? Common answer is not there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other participant? If you have any questions, please ask your questions, doubts. Participants have already been unmuted. You can ask your doubts and questions. I think it looks there are no questions anymore.
Yes.
Yes. Sutani sir, thank you. Really, thank you so much. So you
Thank all the
covered.
listeners for participation.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Organizers, Patil sir, Givrekar sir, thank you for giving me an opportunity. It's
Yes,
always delightful for me to interact with teachers, right?
No, no, sir. Let me say a few words, right? Yeah, it was really nice of you, kind of you, to share these words. Sir, you said a few points now about teaching, and of course they are really important. They are not only few, but they are important. You talked about challenges before the teachers, that they are the igniters. They have to be innovative. A good teacher makes students think, and that is very important point you rightly highlighted. So it is a challenge before the teachers of molding the raw students into professional engineers, and therefore teachers are the game players. So you have rightly pointed it out. Thank you, sir. You talked about the entire education process, and you guided all of us about the importance of the quality in higher education and how we can maintain this quality using and following various teaching learning strategies and assessment tools. So we feel really honored, proud to invite you for the program, sir. Thank you so much for your time and your expert guidance about all the aspects of education, I will say, because you have not left any part unturned. So thank you so much once again.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Leave the meeting now. Yes.
So Eureka sir is saying something.
Sir, thank you, sir. Tone, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Eureka sir.
I'll leave the meeting. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please, please. Good day, sir. Bye. All the participants, please stay connected. You can take a 10 minutes break. We will start the session at 12:10 sharp. The resource person has already joined the session. So you can take 10 minutes break and we will start once again. Thank you so much.